Thank you, Chair. My name is Lati Lelelit, Governor of Samburu. Today I have a very big delegation, but I will let them introduce themselves.
Yeah, we'll allow them to introduce themselves, name and the role you play in the county.
Good morning. Thank you, Chair. My name is Silvana Kaparo, CC in charge of Finance, ICT and Economic Planning.
Good morning. Letrok Solomon, Chief Officer Finance.
My name is Joseph Lekalkuli, Head of Treasury Accounting.
My name is Saul Solesura, County Secretary, Samburu.
Good morning, Chair. My name is Evelyn Lentano, CC in charge of Gender, Social Services, Youth Affairs and Sports.
Good morning, Chair. Lorenyo Kepinan, County Attorney.
Good morning, Chair. My name is Edwin Saruni, Acting Director of Procurement.
Good morning, Chair. My name is Daniel Elena, Chief Officer in charge of Revenue.
Morning, Chair. My name is Jonathan Lengoloni, Chief Officer in charge of Economic Planning and ICT.
Good morning, Chair. My name is Rose Lekalesoi, CC Transport, Roads and Public Works.
Good morning, Chair. My name is Nicholas Lepario, Chief of Staff.
Good morning, Chair. My name is Andrew Lisapadi, in charge of payroll.
Good morning, Chair. I'm Priscilla Lanyasunya, Head of Human Resource Management.
Good morning, Chair. My name is Samuel Tabar, Accountant.
Morning, Chair. My name is Ling Suranga Meshak, Chief Accountant, County Treasury of Samburu.
I believe everyone has gone on record. We then proceed to the next order, which ought to be adoption. Sorry?
Chair, we have...
the County Assembly is present. Yeah. Okay. County Assembly, we have the Chair of the Public Accounts Committee.
Good morning, Chair. I'm Francis Lemartile, Chair, CPAC Committee, Samburu County.
Good morning, Chair. I am Esther Leonor, member of Committee of P.A.C and P.A.C, County of Samburu.
Good morning, Chair. I'm Lelok Lekpanai, Clerk attached to Committee.
Good morning, Chair. My name is Philip Lekalesoi, Principal Clerk Assistant, County Assembly of Samburu.
So that wraps up the introduction. We welcome the members of the County Assembly. Honorable members, we ought to have adopted the agenda. Our agenda today is to consider the report of the Auditor General on the financial statements of the County Executive of Samburu for the financial years 2020-2021, 2021-2022, and 2022-2023, as well as the receiver of revenue statement and county revenue fund for the years 2021-2022 and 2022-2023. Could I get a proposer for the agenda? Thank you, Senator Dulo, a seconder.
Chair, I second.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Next will be administration of oath, and the Clerk of the Senate will guide the Governor.
I, Lati Lelelit, do solemnly swear that the evidence I shall give before the committee is
Governor?
You know, some of us do this. Yeah, of course.
Okay, just do it properly now.
I'm really sorry. I didn't know it has to be in the right hand. But,
okay, proceed, Governor.
I stand guided.
Proceed, yeah.
I, Lati Lelelit, do solemnly swear that the evidence I shall give before this committee in respect of the matters before the committee shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God.
Okay, so next will be your tabling of your written responses and annexures.
Mr. Chairman, I hereby table the following documents before the committee. Management responses and accompanying annexures for the County Executive of Samburu for financial years 2020, 2021, 2021, 2022, and 2022, 2023. Number 2, management responses and accompanying annexures for County Revenue Fund and Receiver of Revenue Statements for financial year 2021, 2022, and 2022, 2023.
Okay, so we will need to deal with a few preliminary issues with regards to the responses that have been tabled. In today's proceedings, it's the Office of the Auditor General that will be doing the prosecution of issues. Office of the Auditor General, now that the Governor has tabled his responses, can you let us know whether the responses go to you on time and whether we are in a position to proceed?
Thank you, Chair. We received the responses for Samburu County Executive 2021, 2022, 2023 on 26th of September in soft copies, which had some annexures, but some were missing. And later, on Saturday, we received the hard copies of the 3 years, 21, 22, and 23. And within that time, we went through. On issue on ROR, that is Receiver of Revenue, 2022, that is 2021, 2022, we received the soft copies without the hard copies, and the soft copy for 2022 had some annexures, which we could not open. The link that was attached, we could not open. On 2023, on the same, we received a soft copy, but there was no annexures. On CRF, because it was also part of to be considered, 2021, 2022, 2022, 2023, there was no responses, but this chair was a clean report. There were no issues. Thank you, Chair.
You seem to be describing a problem. That sounds like the description of a problem. A problem in terms of timely submission and the content of the responses. Now, Governor, if I recall, we were supposed to have had this meeting 3 weeks or 1 month ago. And you wrote to us seeking a postponement, which we granted. And the grounds for postponement was to allow you to put together your documentation. It then becomes very unsettling to hear that 1 month later, you still have not responded to the OAG in the manner required. Now, OAG, you talked of 26th September. You received some documents on 26th of September?
That is responses in soft copies.
26th September was last Thursday.
That was on Tuesday. Is it 26th? 23rd. I think.
23rd. Yeah. 23rd was on Tuesday.
Yes.
Sorry but what you received on 23rd was incomplete.
Some annexures was missing because I think they were so voluminous they could not be sent together with others.
So when were they ultimately sent?
When we got the hard copies.
And that was on Saturday?
Yes, Saturday.
Saturday, which is 28th of September?
Yes.
Clerk of the Senate, what were our instructions to the governor?
The documents were supposed to be sent to the Clerk of Senate and also to the OAG by 23rd, on or before 23rd of September 2024. 24th.
Yeah, so Governor, we are having a problem, and I'm very, at this point, I'm getting disappointed because you sought an extension to allow you to put together your documentation, and it now appears that records were flying as late as Saturday. As a result, the Parliamentary Budget Office is incapable of advising us. As a result, the Office of the Auditor General is incapable of leading the prosecution today. Now, you are also saying that for receiver of revenue, there is a year where there is no response at all. OAG?
Okay, for receiver of revenue, the 2021-2022, there was a responses, but their next years we could not open. It was a soft responses. 2023, there was no, it was just a management responses without supporting annexures.
Now, we have such a heavy delegation that has come from Samburu. Some of us are familiar with Samburu. We know how far it is and how difficult it is to move from Samburu to Nairobi. But this is not the right state of affairs for a session of the Senate. Now, before I even ask my committee members to contribute, let me find out from the chair of the Public Accounts Committee of the Assembly whether you have been able to review these reports that are before us. Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Chair. As a committee, we also invited them to appear before the County Assembly Committee on 1st, which is tomorrow. So after receiving your communication, we reschedule ours to 8th of October. So that's our stand as a committee.
Which is the last financial year that you have been able to review?
Really, we have invited them to appear for 2021, 2022, 2023, for 3 years.
So for 2020, 2021, you reviewed those ones, and it was adopted.
Chair, I think it is now the start of the committee. The committee has done nothing. We have 42 pending since the devolution started. So this is the time we are starting.
Okay, Chair, we'd like to encourage you, and because if you are able to look at those reports, then our work here would be much easier. And if you are vigilant about it, then it also pushes the executive to avoid these scenarios that we are having here, where they've traveled to Nairobi and they're not prepared to proceed. We are also familiar with the Assembly. I think I've held a meeting of this committee in your Assembly. Senator Lelelit, we have been to the Assembly, isn't it? Yes, sir. Yeah, there was a sitting in your Assembly. So we must encourage you. You come from a far corner of Kenya, but you are still Kenyans.
Yeah.
You are still in Kenya. So do not look at yourselves as small or far from the center. You are as Kenyan as all of us. And you are as capable as all the other county assemblies. So do not have any fear in confronting the executive on these reports.
Thank you, Chair. I will do.
Honorable members, we need to make a decision on how to proceed because we now have a fairly difficult technical position. Let me start from Senator Mariam Omar.
Chair, before I add on the evidence, maybe I wanted to ask the chair of PAC. You are saying the committee is dormant since inception of devolutions. Is there any challenges you have?
Chairman.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, we inherited several documents from the first assembly, second assembly. Nothing was discussed by the assemblies. So when we came to office, that assembly, we had a lot of challenges because of the cultures which have started. So we had resistance for the last 2 years because of resource allocation. So this, the third financial year, that is the time the assembly management allocated something little for us to move. Last financial year, I think we're done with 3 funds and still pending because of logistics allocation up to now. So I think that those are the challenges we had. I don't know the challenges of the first and second. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, but maybe before the senators proceed, it would be important for us to hear from the governor why we are where we are. And because this committee has been very lenient with the governor of Samburu. You have interfered with our program, our schedule. We were to have this meeting a month ago, and you wrote to the clerk asking for more time to put together your documentation. And then we come here and find we are still having a problem. Governor.
Thank you, Chair. Let me start by appreciating the committee has been generous to us in terms of giving us more time, and I want to appreciate that. I also want to appreciate the fact that you understand that we have to move from a very far-flung county to get into these Senate meetings. And that one, I'm glad you understand. Maybe Homa Bay is as far as Samburu, I'm not sure, but the roads are better. We don't have good roads. Thank you so much for all that. Keeping all these people in Nairobi every time is a huge expenditure in terms of the County Government of Samburu. That's for sure. Everybody here demands a per diem of 2-3 days, so long as they get here. And those are resources we could use elsewhere to help our people. I am not sure, Chairman, if what is being stated by the good people from the Office of the Auditor General is accurate. I want to say these are good people. We work with them. But I also want to ask them to at least sometimes have some flexibility. If you received everything by 23rd, that is what within the framework of time, and there's few things that you miss. We're human beings. This is humanly. I don't expect them always to. They should also understand that we are the way the Senate is understanding that we spend resources to come to Nairobi. So I plead with them that whatever we can do now, let us do. But it's a committee to decide. I don't mind coming here every week, but I want to say I spend resources, not myself, to come here. So please, bear with us. Let's do what we can do, if it's possible. But that's the decision of the committee. But also be flexible. You received everything apart from a few annexures. We can deal with a lot of stuff here. Then you can come next week and deal with a few stuff. And we can also release the Senate to do other things they are supposed to do. That is my take, Chair.
Governor, you have not addressed the issue. I've heard all that you've said. You have not addressed the reason for the breakdown in communication with the Office of the Auditor General. Because I don't want it to go on record that we have cast aspersions on the Office of the Auditor General. Ideally, before you come to Nairobi for this meeting, you and your officers need to have a meeting with the Office of the Auditor General. We allow you to do that so that by the time you're coming to Nairobi, you're speaking the same language. Definitely, even if Senator Lelelit has tried to plead with the chair and the committee that we proceed, but we cannot proceed when the prosecutors are not ready. And so that expense that you cry out for, then perhaps we should just be giving directions that we should
and more permission. But that's not the case. That's not the case. There must be something else, which I don't know.
We are not going into the realm of speculation. As I've told your county assembly, You are Kenyans. It does not matter how far Samburu is. You are part of the Republic of Kenya. You are bound by the Constitution. You are bound by the PFM Act and regulations. And Governor, you are bound by the Public Audit Act. We have taken a position as a committee, and we cannot bend it because we think that Samburu is a small county. Samburu is not a small county. You might only be small because of the past governments have ignored the potential of Samburu. But Samburu could be probably the richest county in this republic. So we are not going to deal with you as if we are dealing with a lesser child. We shall apply the rules as we would apply them in Mombasa, in Nandi, in Homa Bay, and the rest of the counties. And it is clear that our conversation is guided by the Auditor General because we are considering the report of the Auditor General. Honorable members, let me get your views on... Senator Mariam, were you done?
No.
Okay, Senator Mariam, then the Vice Chair.
Chair, Governor, we are not here to blame each other. And it's better you listen.
Order, Governor. Order, Governor. Senator Mariam, proceed.
Chair, however, the distance doesn't matter if you have given public finance. If you have money, the distance doesn't matter. And again, when it comes to audits, audits are procedure. There's no humanity. You are saying audits become, an auditor must be a human, so you what? No. You follow the rules, bring the documents of 20, up to the last is 23rd of September. Chair, we did to other counties that we cannot proceed if it is beyond 24th. So this county is not different from the rest. And again, if a county is a governor is now saying, instead of, before he even come to this committee, he's supposed to sit with his technical people, staffs, sit down, see where is the gap, and after that he communicates. It looks like he has not even have internal technical staffs with him, and he's blaming the auditor on that.
Order,
Chair.
Governor. Allow the senator to conclude. You'll have your chance to respond.
Chair, on that ground, we cannot proceed with the proceeding because of the documents and audits. If you've given these documents on Saturday, do you think it will be Saturday again? Is not a working day. Today is the auditor to review. Maybe the next 2 days or 3 days is when we. So on that ground, we cannot proceed with the meeting. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Senator Mariam Omar. Vice Chair.
I think mine will be very simple. Chair, since it is not possible to proceed, I don't think we need to waste a lot of time. There are two issues. One, the governor and his team requested an extension of 1 month. We granted out of good faith. He did nothing about it. So the issue of huge delegation that has come from Samburu, we surcharge the governor on the expenses in case of tying up to the CRF of Samburu County Executive. And then number two, as a Senate and as a committee, OAG has its own mandate. And if they are unable to proceed, we shall not proceed. It is thumb of the rule, and that is what the Constitution says. So if OAG could not access documents, authenticate documents, verify documents, look at them, then I don't see any need because we shall be doing exercise in futility. Because at the end of the day, the plenary demands that we must write a report, take resolutions to the House, so that the House can transmit that. So, Chair, and also that is in contravention of Public Audit Act, where it is demanded that documentation be produced in good time. Because if it is a matter of 2022, 2023, if a document was there even at the first instance when the...
Because when the Auditor General is saying that they have, for example, on receipt of revenue, 2021, 2023, they have responses, they don't have annexures. 2022, 2023, no responses, only management letter. It's difficult
to proceed with such kind of reports. And also, this committee is guided by the standing orders and the presidents of this committee on how they tackle or how they proceed with other counties. So I think it's negligence from the part of the county not to provide documents on time as required, because also members of this committee will want to have exposure of those documents on time so that they can give quality feedback on each of those reports. So, Chair, the committee has had the goodwill to at least make these reports up to date. Because we heard from the County Assembly Chair that since devolution, Samburu County Assembly Committee, PAC, a Public Accounts Committee for the County Assembly, were not able, since devolution, to interrogate these reports from the Auditor General. So it's left to the county, to the Senate, to be considering these reports. Now, Chair, I've also seen the reports for 2022-2023. There is receipt of revenue, there is CRF, and there is the County Executive of Samburu. Those are heavy reports, which we may need more time to go through so that we can give our feedback. So, Chair, on our way forward, because we've already agreed that this meeting may not proceed because of the feedback we got from the Auditor General, I request that in our next meeting, we make the workload, maybe I'm saying the workload because we are considering 3 reports, lesser. So we give them for 2020, 2021, 2022, 2021, 2022, so that we can clear those reports in our next meeting. Then we can reschedule the 2022, 2023 reports. That is my feedback or my comment on the subject before the committee. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Senator. For the record, Senator Lelegwe made a request similar to the one the governor has made. He had appealed for the auditors to be flexible, the same way you have also appealed. But when we looked at the implication, we got to the conclusion that that flexibility would compromise our work. So I think it was of the earlier view that we proceed, deal with the issues to the best extent possible. But if the auditor is not well prepared, then it becomes very difficult for me to chair such a meeting. So let me hear from Senator Adulo. Then
Thank you,
I'll
Chair. Let me take this opportunity to welcome my neighbors on the other side. Chair, before I proceed, I just want to ask whether the governor has ever sat with the team of Auditor Generals at the entry or at the exit, because that is very important, and that would have actually assisted him to really understand the current situation. Because the report we have, Governor, we are told you have never been seen at the exit or at the entry, and that is very, very important. Thank you, Chair. Before I make my comments.
Governor, you may respond.
That is true. I've never sat with them. But I sit with my people who understand these reports better. But I don't think I've ever sat with them.
So, Governor, I think that is where there is a problem. Because you are the CEO of that institution. Even if you don't have time, it's good if you meet them at the beginning so that you can understand the dynamics of these problems. Once you understand at the entry, and then when they finish, they will also tell you, these are our findings, Governor. You are required, your people are required to do A, B, C, D. On those bases, then you can be able to follow up and ensure that things are done on your behalf, even if you are not there. Chairman, I think this is really disappointing because we have seen counties that have appeared here twice or thrice. But I think, as I've said earlier, you are too generous to Samburu County. And I don't know whether they have taken that for granted. But I think, Governor, let me tell you, some of us, we've been in this Senate for some time. And we always fight with other counties to ensure that we have increased allocation to our counties. And soon, fourth generation formula is going to come. If we don't actually get accountability for the money allocated to you, because I remember we always struggle with Senator Lelelit to ensure that our counties are getting proper allocation and increased allocation. Soon we are going to have 1 man, 1 shilling, and 1 vote. Yeah? So, if these are the kind of things we are getting from our counties, and being your neighbor, I know I'm part of pastoralists, it's not going to be very good, because I had a fight with 𝐒𝐿 at the 3rd generation formula, when he was actually, they always tell us, your counties, they are not actually accounting for the money allocated to them. How do we increase their budget? You see? So it becomes a challenge. So please, we are actually requesting you. You are given time. Samburu is just here. There are people who come all the way from Turkana, people who come all the way from Mandera, which is very far. Samburu is not far. So please, I think we have already set a precedent that if you are late in submission of your document, we will not sit and deliberate on those matters. There is a genuine reason why we are doing that. So, Chair, I join my colleagues and say that we cannot proceed today. We cannot be favoring Samburu against other counties. And I think maybe we need to have a sitting also with the Assembly, because we really want to know why County Assembly of Samburu has never interrogated any Auditor General's report. And I think that communication has to be made. And any other county that has not actually gone through the Auditor General's report. So, Governor, I think put your acts together. But I'm proposing, Chair, can we have as quickly as possible Samburu County to come again? Because we have never had their report discussed since they were established. I thank you.
Okay, Senator Lelelit.
Chair, I don't know if I've made this point clear. Requesting you, Chair, and the committee that when you're considering the time they will be coming to for us to discuss these reports, I'm requesting that we remove the 2022-2023 financial year so that we can deal with 2020, 2021, 2022, 2021, 2022. Because why I'm saying that, there is a lot of information or a lot of issues that we need to interrogate for the 2022-2023 financial year. And Chair, we need time on that report, because we cannot just bring all these reports and then maybe we are not going to give the time, sufficient time or feedback on these reports. So that is my request, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. I think I hear you very clearly. The House wants us to be up to date. And I think everyone wants us to be considering the reports of the time when this governor is in office, because the other 2 reports are for the other government. And 𝐿𝐴CC is in the House, and 𝐿𝐴CC, I think with regards to Samburu, you have done a fairly good job in holding people to account. Whatever decision we make must bring us to the current reports. And maybe I agree with Senator Lelelit, but with a variation. Governor, if your team sits with the Auditor General and you are speaking the same language in terms of what is resolved and what is unresolved, and the Auditor General tells us they have reviewed the annexures, it is possible for us to take written responses for the earlier years, so that in our engagement, we focus more on the time when you are in office. So, Senator Lelelit, do not fear. The reports are voluminous. but the mistake is on the part of the county. If you did the right thing, if you cooperated with the Auditor General, it would have been possible for me to direct that the earlier years we can take the written responses and deal with the more current years. But we shall take that decision once we have seen the quality of your responses. Do a good job in responding, and it would be possible for us to fast track and close all those years. We take note also that the CRF was unqualified. So if you have an unqualified report, then there's no point for us to go through it. So in as much as there are 7 reports, there's the CRF, which is unqualified. So that one we don't need to take a lot of time on. But if you don't do a proper job of dealing with the Office of the Auditor General, then we shall take the approach that has been suggested by Senator Lelelit. 𝐂𝐏𝐿, you wanted to say something? Because if you are not proceeding, then we need to make very quick decisions.
Okay, thank you, Chair. I'd like to say, although we received late submissions from the county government, we went ahead and did a verification on the responses that we received from the county. So on our side, we did a verification on all the responses that we received, however late, up till yesterday. Yes, Chair.
Yeah, but we've got rules. We've got rules that have been established. Governor, you've been in Parliament. You know that Parliament is a house of record. It's a house of procedures and a house of rules. We will not bend it for the sake of Samburu. And you have heard my colleagues say that we have been fairly lenient with Samburu. If the chair has been lenient, it's because of the encouragement from your senator. I think your senator has been your biggest advocate here. And that is why even last time we were able to do the postponement. Now, unless there is anything to the contrary, Governor, I think if we are adjourning, we need to get some commitments from you. What are you committing to do so that we don't come back here in 2 weeks with a big delegation only for a meeting to be adjourned?
Thank you, Excellency. Through the Chair, we commit that we will honor and give timely reports.
Chair, I thought the commitment should come from the Governor.
Yeah, I think, Governor, it's in good order for that commitment to come from the CEO.
I've delegated to her, but I think the commitment is straightforward. Even as we sit here, we've gotten from the Auditor General's office that they are almost ready. I mean, they're ready. It's only that we have timelines that we need to, that were violated. So I want to believe that the part of the commitment is a bit easy. We can meet as soon as next week. I don't see any problem. I think my people are ready. I think the auditors are ready. And I think that time there will be no excuses.
Okay. Senator 𝐒𝐿, go on record.
Chair, can I interject?
Senator Dulo.
Governor, I think it's not as easy as you are saying. Because we had a meeting with auditors. Most of the responses that are given are actually, the position is that they are not resolved. That is number one. Number two, you've just heard there are certain reports that you have not submitted. So I think it's good if you go back and check with your people what is the current status. Before you commit yourself, you can say, I will come even next week. Thank you.
Senator 𝐒𝐿, go on record. Just a minute.
About the reports.
Just a minute. Senator 𝐒𝐿 has the floor.
Thank you very much, Chairman. I think the proceedings are quite engaging. My name is John 𝐒𝐿, Senator of the Republic of Kenya from Nyandarua County. I'm sorry that I came in late, but I'll catch up.
You're welcome, Senator 𝐒𝐿. We know what you are dealing with.
He's undergoing through.
We know what you are dealing with this week.
Kama ameshindwa kuchana, so we need to see.
There are some things that I shall not say. Governor, what did you want to say?
I just wanted to ask that since we have prepared ourselves for the entire period, and Chairman, Samburu is not very far, I say, that I agree, because it's still within the Republic of Kenya. But we have so many commitments as public servants for our people, and this is one of them. I appreciate. So in our next meeting, I plead to you that we deal with everything that was presented to us so that we move on doing other things instead of having two separate meetings on the same reports. Otherwise, we should not have, we should not have dealt with the entire thing. Then when we come back, we only do have, I can sit here from morning to evening so that we can clear everything.
Governor, don't worry about that. You have heard me clearly say that if you do quality responses, we can be able to sort out 7 reports in one sitting. The ball is in your court. It all depends on your responses. If we have the kind of report I have here from the Office of the Auditor General, quite a number of issues are unresolved. And if you are able to resolve most of the issues, we are going to have a very quick meeting. So that responsibility goes back to you. I think to the County Assembly, we have done a concept note, and we are looking for support, and I think we have made some good progress through the Devolution Donor Working Group. We want to have a meeting that brings together the CEC's finance and the chairs of Public Accounts Committee and the National Treasury, Auditor General, the people involved in public finance management at devolved level, so that we can have a conversation on many things, including this audit exercise. We want to present to you a report done by the Parliamentary Budget Office called the Fiduciary Risks Report, so that we guide you on the procedures, we guide you on the resolutions, we guide you on the cross-cutting issues and the position that we take. So we hope that we can have that meeting before the close of the year to bring everyone on board, because we realize that if we only involve the governors in these conversations, some governors don't have time for PFM issues. And I can clearly tell that the governor of Samburu perhaps has more time for building roads and boreholes and not PFM. But the people involved in PFM are the CECs, the chief officers, and the chairs of the Public Accounts Committee. So maybe in the next 2 or 3 months, we'll have that gathering. Final word from the Assembly?
Thank you, Chair. We appreciate your invitations, because since you came in, we are in a process of learning. Secondly, Chair, I take this opportunity to welcome you to Samburu. Your committee, we welcome you to visit us. We learn from you. You also learn from us. Lastly, Chair, because we have our accounting officers here, I think we need to put some things very clear, especially guidance from your office or your committee to our accounting officers, because maybe the Senate might have considered some reports before us, give us guidance whether the same report the County Assembly will go through, or it will adapt the Senate recommendations. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, that's an important point. So, Clerk, share with the Assembly the reports, the resolutions we made in the past, so that you don't have to reinvite the executive for them. You can just follow up on implementation, on areas where the Senate has considered. If you have considered any report, we would also take your resolutions and push for implementation, so that we don't waste time by reinventing the wheel.